And greetings everyone from Centex Multimedia, and we are streaming live to your device directly from Brisbane. And joining us today is Councillor Angela Owen. Welcome to the show, Councillor.
Namaste, namaskaram, sat sri akal, kemcho, spargadam, varnakam, assalamu alaikum. Good morning everyone, and happy International Women's Day and happy Commonwealth Day.
And happy International Women's Day to you as well. And of course the Commonwealth Day, we will talk about that. And of course also with us in the studio is Suman. Suman, once again, welcome to the show.
Hello everybody. Hello Angela. Hello Meshi. And welcome everybody to this program where we are
good
going
to see you.
Celebrate
Good to be with you today.
The International Women's Day.
Thank you very much to both of you for joining us in this show today. So we'll start off with you, Councillor. Once again, thank you very much for everything that you do out there in the community for all of us. You are always there with us. And of course today finding time, to be here with us and talking with us. So, looking at International Women's Day, there are so many messages that happen out there. But on the ground, you are a politician, you are a community worker, you serve in the community. So, what does International Women's Day mean for you, and what has the experience been for you in the communities?
Well, I think International Women's Day is so very important. It's an opportunity for us to recognise the contribution of many women right across the community in whatever skill set that they contribute to the wider community. There are many ways to support others in the community, and I think it's so important that we don't just look at jobs and professions. We also look at how many women nurture our younger generations to help them to achieve a greater outcome in life, and that is a great contribution that works so hard in voluntary capacities, and this is often not acknowledged enough. And so to all the women that organise functions, that work behind the scenes in volunteer positions on committees, whether it's at a school P&C or in a community group association, I say a very big thank you for your contribution, because you do make a difference.
Yes, and very well said, Councillor, once again, that they do make a difference, a very big difference as well. As we know, many times people talk about many things, but looking at, I'm looking at many of the organizations that do a lot of work out there, the advocacy work as well, and some frontline work, assisting women, especially in times of domestic violence and everything. So if we look at, the workplace and everything, and equal opportunity and gender equality, so, celebrating Women's Day is one thing, but have we reached there? Are we there, or is there more that needs to be done?
And I think as well, particularly when we're talking about the workforce, merit-based selection is so very important. So that is one area that many women have only asked to be judged on an equal basis for many years, having come through the university sector and also many different industry areas that I've worked in, over my lifetime. I look in a managerial role to make sure that merit-based selection is. I think for most organisations, most occupations these days, there is certainly that entrenched philosophy now that we do have a fair amount of equality. We are not 100% there yet, but in many respects you have to go forward in order by small steps in order to achieve the ultimate aim. You only have to look at the Srina Council administration in City Hall. We have an equal number of female councillors and male councillors. So we were the first LNP administration in the entire nation to achieve this. And that is without quotas. That is based on merit and our achievements. So I'm very proud to be part of a team that recognise the skills of women and is not hesitant to say that women can contribute in that higher regard.
Well, very well said. And now I'll go to you, Suman, just to get your perspective as well. And of course, you are. I'm looking at a bit of a migrant story here. Being a migrant and coming to a new country, and you are also working, running your business, and you have got a young family. So, how has that experience been for you, being a working man and coming from a migrant background?
Yeah, thank you, Maishi. First of all, thank you for actually.
Well, certainly when you do move from another part of the world to Australia,
first of all, I want
is
to
a
say
big
that I feel
shift.
very, very fortunate.
And I know that
to
my
be a
parents
woman.
made the choice
All the opportunities that we
they
get,
wanted to give
from
my
the
brother and I
start,
a
being
great
mother, being a
opportunity.
wife, being a sister, and then on top of that, we also have, especially in Australia, we also have this opportunity that we can do anything and we are not being judged. I think things have changed back home as well, but we don't see it because it really doesn't happen with us. That's why we need to celebrate this day to make everybody aware that women rights are human rights as well. There are still parts in the world where women are not treated equally, and that's why there is importance of this day. Fortunately, we are very lucky to be here. I'm very lucky to be part of the family where I was always given equal rights. So all the rights that my brother had, I had those rights as well. But I have seen, some friends, some, faraway family as well, where they have not been given equal rights, and I can actually feel the pain. So I think on this day, we just want to make sure that everybody is aware that women's rights are human rights, and women needs to be treated equally. So it's very important that I think it's time everybody understands that.
And once again, you have very rightfully said there that women need to be treated equally, and that goes without saying. But when we look at many times, as mentioned before, that saying things is one thing, celebrating and observing the day is another thing. As we know, there's many organizations who are out there trying to help and support International Women's Day, and so many functions that are taking place as well. So going back to you, Councillor, looking at the rules and regulations that have been put in place, safeguarding gender equality in workplace and of course in governance, and as you have mentioned that under the Srinagar government, the council is equally divided, so there's the gender representation there is equal. So in good governance, in a country as diverse as this, how important is it for us to promote and bring this forward so that the message actually does get out to the people?
Well, certainly I think merit-based selection is the most important thing that we do need to get out there. But the other aspect of it is we must ensure that younger generations are the opportunities. It's through education and making sure that young girls have the opportunity to engage in pursuits, that they will have greater opportunities from a gender equity perspective as they grow up and enter the workforce. That's where it needs to start, with the young people, and making sure that those educational opportunities are afforded right across the board in a fair and equitable manner. And once that occurs, it becomes a case of, if people have the skills, whether they're one gender or another, they will achieve in their chosen field. So it is very important that through the workplace there is a merit-based selection process that is implemented.
And thank you very much for that, Councillor, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know that you've got a very, very busy schedule today, and of course, talking about the Commonwealth Day, as we know right now, there's a service that's happening at the St. John's Cathedral. Usha is there, so she'll bring the reports from there, and because we had to do this the interview, so I couldn't be there. But once again, this year we know that from the Queen we've received the recorded message for the Commonwealth Day. So wishing you all the very best and keep up all the wonderful work that you do out there in the community and in promoting multiculturalism and being out with the community, and of course always standing up there for women.
And it's a pleasure to join you once again. Thanks, Umesh. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you all so much. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was Councillor Angela Owen joining us as well, and of course in the studio with us is Suman. And right now, joining us will also be Tanvi Goyal. So we'll talk about some of the things that has been experienced by the multicultural community, and of course being here that. What it means to us, So right now, let's welcome Tanvi to the show as well. Welcome to the show, Tanvi.
Thank you so much, Umesh. Hello, Suman.
Hello.
Happy International Women's Day, everyone.
Same to you.
Okay, so we were talking about the International Women's Day and what it really means for people, and especially in the multicultural community as well. And when I'm looking at you two, both of you, having young families and also being in a professional environment, running businesses and other things, so we've had a little bit from Suman. So I'd like to hear from you. So what have been the challenges, and whether enough has been done for gender equality, and what does this day mean to you?
For me, it's really very, very important day for me, and I think for every woman. It's really great to see that. I would say, if I tell you my childhood, it was really not good. There was an instance when I was little, and I used to think maybe, being a woman is the biggest mistake maybe me and my parents have done, because it was really very bad that, people used to say, the boys can do everything, girls can't. And I would say, I really say thanks to God every single day that you have given me that platform, and I came here. In fact, in India also, slowly, I started getting my own, my self-respect I started gaining. So it's really amazing that, day by day, I think through you and everyone else, inspiring women like Suman, who shows that, yes, women can do anything in this world. And I think that's what we all should keep doing, and tell everyone, especially us like very young women. I tell my child, she's 3.5 years old, and I tell her every day that there is no difference, even from the childhood, from the beginning, that, we should always do our best, and, do the gender equality is definitely always there. So, it's really a lot of challenges coming on the way day by day, but yes, we're getting there. It's really amazing. Amazing.
It is, and very well said. Now, one of the things that we always talk about Australia, and of course, being a very diverse nation as it is. Many times people talk about, when they talk about the gender inequality, and of course, then being from a migrant the community as well. My hats off to both of you. You've done very well for where you are and all the things that you're doing, and actually standing up for yourself. Not being afraid, being out there, taking the world and being out in the field of business and commerce, which originally when, in the olden days in Australia, the people might not want to say it, but they always say it, that, when there was the White Australia policy, and again, in those times they were very challenging. So, we have come a long way, but there's still a lot of work to be done. But especially in the field of women empowerment, and of course we're talking about domestic violence. As we know, there's White Ribbon is doing a lot of job as well. White Ribbon's main role is just getting the message out there. So it's advocacy. It does not provide front end service. Then there are other organizations who do provide front end service. So like the Sakina House, there's the Sahara House. There's so many things that are happening. Jatinder Kaur there, he does a wonderful job out there in the community as well, advocating for women. So there's a lot that's been happening out there as well. But within our community, I'm just talking about our Indian community as well. I think what you have just said before, in your opening, that there were times when people did not look up to women, in that way. But in our customs and traditions, I think always, ladies or moms were looked up to as Nari Shakti. That sort of went away a little bit. But again, I think it's coming back. The awakeness is coming back. So I think if we talk about the work that's been done, I think that's never ending. I think we need to keep pushing that message out as well. And there's few functions happening tonight as well through one is Queensland Multicultural Council, ST, and others. They have a dinner function today, but it's a small one, being at the last minute. But there's so many things. But the good part was, Suman, I'll tell you, yesterday right here, looking out these windows, there were 17,000 women who took part in RACQs in a march, and they raised $1.5 million. Wow. So amazing. We were, I came here to do some work, but I went out there, I was standing with the crowd, all of us cheering and clapping these ladies as they went past. So, they brought Brisbane to a standstill, but this was the first time ever that many, you can see that kind of support, especially that's for breast cancer, but all this kind of awareness, as you can see out in the community, that the community is getting better and the message is getting out there. So I know, that someone that you might have to go as well. So, before we let both of you go, any messages to all the people who are listening out there, you two are like role models to other women out there.
Okay, I just want to shout out to all the young women because I see a lot of migrants every day, and I see that a lot of young women, they are actually taking the whole responsibility on their shoulders. They come here, they study. Sometimes they also have a child, they look after the child. They also do a job, and they also try and get those points to get their permanent residency. And they do that all themselves. Like, it's their responsibility to make sure that they study, to make sure that they get a job, they have enough points to lodge their permanent residency. So it's those husbands are actually really, really fortunate, because their wives, they are doing everything, looking after their family, looking after the household, making sure that they have the opportunity to live here permanently. So every day I see a lot more and more women doing this. Like, in the past, it has always been the guys who used to come here to maybe study and then do all these things. That was the pattern before, but the pattern is changing now. So I see a lot more women actually doing this thing for their family. So it's really great to see.
Tanvi.
I would say, girls out there, just feel proud of yourself that you are doing really absolutely amazing every single day. And just we all have to be in this together, like Omeji said, Nari Shakti, we have to think that, we are capable to do everything, anything. When there are the times where we feel so stressed, but just think of yourself, you can do so many things at a time. We have to work on the women empowerment. So whatever we know, we make sure that we teach others, and we at least, got the listening ears, I would say. क्योंकि कभी-कभी आपको लगेगा कि कुछ लेडीज हैं, कुछ लड़कियां हैं, वो सिर्फ सुनना चाहती हैं, So I think if we just hear what's going out there and just give that positive energy to the women who are in need, and especially those who are suffering with domestic violence. So it's like everywhere in the planet. In Australia, you can see so many such cases are coming. But sometimes we see आप सुनोगे कि औरत औरत की दुश्मन होती है. I think at least we can change that phrase that no, औरत औरत की दुश्मन नहीं होती, औरत औरत की हमेशा सहेली होती है. So we are just friends to each other. So if you just go with that particular thought that I have to do the best and I have to help every woman around me and just bring out all the positive energy, it will make a lot of difference. So even during the COVID situation, we were all at home and things really changed. But if we are together, so all I would say last that एक और एक दो नहीं होते, एक और एक 11 होते हैं. So 1 + 1 is 11. So if we are in this together, we'll go through it, and we can make this world a lot better place than it is today. So just keep it up, whatever you do.
And thank you very much for that, and very well said. And of course, I'll just finish off on the point that Suman made. And I have seen that firsthand as well. With the new migrants coming in here, the female in the partnership have always really worked hard, and they have been outgoing. They have been outreaching as well, reaching out to employers, to other places, and making sure that they had the points, that they did the right thing, and that they were in the right places. They many times put the foot down and recessed and did the things well. The man said, "Theek hai, chalo ho jayega," so that kind of attitude. So I think, Suman, you touched on that point, and I will really I'll agree with that point. I've seen firsthand on many instances that happening, and so hats out to all the girls, all the ladies out there. Have a wonderful the International Women's Day. We are what we are because of you. So that's it. नारी शक्ति जो है वो जागेगी जागेगी, as they say.
Thank you, Meshi, for having us here, and happy International Women's Day to everybody.
Thank you very much.
Happy everyone.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, right now we'll go and have a look at the march that we were talking about, and let's see how that played about. So as you can see right out the studios here, this is the scenes from yesterday. So as you can see, the RACQ fund run yesterday, and 17,000 people took part in that, raised over $1.5 million. And after a long time, it is wonderful to see that kind of support and everyone getting together to raise that awareness. This is the first time they had such a sold out. It was a sold out event, so no one else could take part. When I mean sold out, it's not an event as an event, but as participants and people raising funds. And these scenes are actually from our studios, so just looking out the window. And everyone cheering each other as they go past, and of course here they come around the corner of Boundary Street and Adelaide Street. Good on. So there are, ladies and gentlemen, up to date on Australian Indian Radio, and that was the march that we've been talking about. And as you can see, that many people who actually took part in that, and it was just wonderful. And now the other part of the equation is that the Commonwealth Day, of course, as we know, there are many functions that are taking place in relation to the Commonwealth. And here's the message from the Queen this year, because this year she just sent a recorded message to everyone.
Over the coming week, as we celebrate the friendship, spirit of unity and achievements of the Commonwealth, we have an opportunity to reflect on a time like no other. Whilst experiences of the last year have been different across the Commonwealth, stirring examples of courage, commitment and selfless dedication to duty have been demonstrated in every Commonwealth nation and territory, notably by those working on the front line who have been delivering healthcare and other public services in their communities. We have also taken encouragement from remarkable advances in developing new vaccines and treatments. The testing times experienced by so many have led to a deeper appreciation of the mutual support and spiritual sustenance we enjoy by being connected to others. The need to maintain greater physical distance or to live and work largely in isolation has, for many people across the Commonwealth, been an unusual experience. In our everyday lives, we have had to become more accustomed to connecting and communicating via innovative technology, which has been new to some of us, with conversations and communal gatherings, including Commonwealth meetings, conducted online, enabling people to stay in touch with friends, family, colleagues and counterparts who they have not been able to meet in person. Increasingly, we have found ourselves able to enjoy such communication, as it offers an immediacy that transcends boundaries or division, helping any sense of distance to disappear. We have all continued to appreciate the support, breadth of experiences and knowledge that working together brings, and I hope we shall maintain this renewed sense of closeness and community. Looking forward, relationships with others across the Commonwealth will remain important as we strive to deliver a common future that is sustainable and more secure, so that the nations and neighbourhoods in which we live, wherever they are located, become healthier and happier places for us all.
And that's very special message from the Queen on the occasion of the Commonwealth Day. And it is wonderful to see that, there's so many nations all still passing on that message. And of course, the message was that we all can work together. We have come together in this and we have embraced new technology. We have embraced new methods. We might not be close together face to face, but we are only as far away as our device. So we can all connect via that. And even in remotest of the areas, people have been able to connect and embrace the technology and be together and talk to people across the world from all sides. All the meetings, as he mentioned, had been taking, even the Commonwealth meetings have been taking place virtually. Adaptable as we are, we have adapted to this, and together we are in this, and of course a very happy International Women's Day to all the lovely women out there who do so much work out there within the community, and they're always, standing aside to help whenever they need be. So it is wonderful to see that. And on this day, my message is not only celebrate and observe the day, but also to do something practical in towards furthering those objectives that have been set out in place. Well, right now let's take a very quick look at the functions and events taking place in and around Brisbane. And as we know that once again, there are many functions and events which are now taking place in person. So we have gone away from the virtual ones and we're moving towards this and it is wonderful to see those all happening. So here's a list of some of the functions that are now taking place. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this International Women's Day, it's time now for us to say goodbye from this program. Apologies for starting a bit late. We had to connect some studio guests. Well, right now, it is time to say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of the day, whatever's remaining. But please remain safe. And don't forget that all those rules and regulations that have been put in place for safety of everybody, please do observe them. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from me. Please remain safe.